What's up, guys? It's your girl Serpentine 10, and we're going to talk about the supposed leaks for the next season of Street Fighter 6. So, this has been running rampant all over, and it came from Reddit. So, sometimes the Reddit people are hit and miss when it comes to leaks. But we're going to talk about this anyway because it is a fascinating list and something that we've heard before. And we're going to start off with that we know that Alex is going to be showing up pretty soon. And we know that Ingrid is also the next character to just wrap up this season. So with these two characters being the last two, we were going to hear about something eventually. So let's get into the first character that is been talked about over and over and over again that people really want to see. And that is Makoto. I think that I have said this time and time again about this character. I just don't know why she has not been here. So Makoto is a very popular character. This character has been requested so many times. I don't know why Capcom just keeps sleeping on her. They just will not let this character, come to form. Now, I don't know what that's all about. It seems like, we always get like Sakura, even though those two characters are not the same, but it's still that like teenage girl type thing. But they never put Makoto in here. So Makoto is a very highly requested character. I'm sure that she's going to have a lot of backstory if she was here. I'm sure they're going to change her look to update her. There will always be classic costumes for characters, of course, so you'll get her classic outfit. But I just feel like this character should definitely be here. And this was also something that was in a leak last time before we got to Street Fighter 6, like a long time ago. Makoto was being talked about. So will we ever get her? Hopefully we will, and hopefully this leak is true. Now, I'm not surprised by this leak. This is something that should happen, and with all the talk and storyline in Street Fighter 6, this just seems like it's a no-brainer. So Vega has been talked about over and over again, and I'm not surprised. They have Bison, he's back. We've been talking to Fang, he's been up to a lot of stuff. It just seemed like the, Shadowloo is up to something, and the members might be getting back together. So this all makes sense. I mean, don't forget, you can actually talk to Vega in World Tour. He actually calls you and is like, hey, thanks for the information. So even having this here is a true sign that Vega could be on his way. I mean, he's talking about how he's all about getting back with Shadowloo again if, everybody wants to get with it again. So we might be seeing Vega. It's very likely that he will be here. It will be very exciting. I really do hope that they change his look. It will be a nice fresh change. So will we see Vega? It's highly likely. All right, everybody, it's time to get into some tricky territory, and we're going to talk about Q. Now, this is a leak that I'm actually not too surprised about, but also okay, how's this guy gonna work? But it's kind of like we already seen this character already with somebody else with one single letter, but we'll talk about him real soon. But let's talk about Q. So Q is probably the weirdest, most strangest character probably ever to grace Street Fighter. We don't know nothing about this guy. So it seems like they may be trying to wrap up a certain storyline that we have nothing about. I mean, Third Strike really had this guy and we had no idea who he was, where he comes from. There's just a little bit of backstory that he's seen all around the world. Nobody knows there's multiples of him. Nobody knows this a robot. Nobody knows anything. So this would be interesting if they brought this character back, because I know a lot of people have questions. I don't know, Capcom really do like to put things on hiatus. They like to just never talk about stuff ever again, and they make it seem like we have amnesia when it comes to characters. So they always try to act like things don't exist, and then they'll bring it back up to you later, and then you're like, wait a minute, haven't I seen this person before? And that's what makes me get to the next character right here. Of course you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about G. So it has been hinted multiple times that Q and G are the same person. They're one and the same. Is G running the organization of the Qs? Who knows? But we do know that there's something special about G. So I just hope that this whole thing with him kind of comes to a head and that we can really figure out who he is and what he wants, because Rose was really trying to figure out what this guy was up to, but we really didn't get that answer. So if Q is going to show up, are we gonna have G here too? Are they one and the same? We really do need to know that. I do need to know that so bad. It's kind of weird that they actually gave G Q's costume. So Capcom is up to something. They are. They're just not telling us. And this is super exciting. And I hope that they actually do something with G again. I feel like it's kind of weird that he is not on this roster. He should be, because I feel like he was a big part of something and they just kind of left it out. So will G and Q show up? We'll have to see. Now, one thing is for sure, if G is going to be here, that means that Menat may not be too far behind. So Menat has been teased and leaked several times. So as you know, Rose has always been looking for those two guys, and Menat was always with her. So this also makes sense for Menat to be here, especially if G and Q is going to be here, because all their stories are intertwined. So I always loved this character. I tried to play as her, but she's super tricky, but I thought that she was really beautifully, animated. I think that she has cool movement. She was really unique, and it'll be a shame if they never ever bring this character back. I feel like she should be here, and it'll be really nice, to see her redesign. I know that they'll actually go crazy with the Egyptian inspired, outfits, because Menat always had really good costumes. So Menat has been teased for us, and I know the fanboys are gonna love this one if she shows up. So what do you guys think about the leaked characters? Do you think that they're supposed to be here for our next season? And you know what you have to do. Make sure you guys are checking me out on my Patreon and right here on YouTube. And until next time, guys, peace.